Well, hey folks, just another beautiful New York day. It's middle 20s right now. It's supposed to be in the low 30s, just sunshine all day. We're actually down the creek right behind my house. This is on my property here, and then I'm bordered by state land on this end and neighbors down to the other end. But we're just gonna do some sluicing down here today, and it's gonna be a beautiful day. All right, let's have some fun. And today we're doing something a little different. I brought down the very first box I ever built. This is my very first sluice box ever. I built it myself. Actually, the bottom I didn't build. I got that from a fellow up in New Hampshire, an old-time dredger up in New Hampshire. So that's a 4-inch box. It's got big old dredging riffles in it, but I made it work just fine for a bunch of years anyway. But I designed the top here. Actually, what it is, let me get this stuff out of here. What I was trying to do is make a box with a flare that the whole thing could be a continuous piece without the break in the box. You see, I have a break here. Like I said, this is part of a 4-inch dredge, but this up here, I just used some aluminum and I bent it. And if you can see over here how the flare comes up high. Well, the flare, when it comes up high, it actually matches the mat and the classifying string that I put on there. So this is designed to just shovel onto it, and you got to have enough current. It washes it right out, and then you got to have enough current through the whole system to keep those dredge riffles actually working properly. But all these holes in it allow the smaller material, which all the gold around here is small, to drop down through there when it's shoveled onto, and then it will capture in the V matting. Now this is old style low rib V matting, just stuff you buy at a hardware store, but it works okay because the reduction in flow, all the water, you got to have a lot of water coming in here, but just the right amount about gets down through there and helps clean that black mat out, if that makes sense. And then the way this flare I built it, by the time the water gets up here, there's not too much here to allow it all down. It all captures here, and that helps clean out those dredge riffles, if that makes sense as well. But anyway, let me get that thing put together. And what this is, just an old baking mat. If you look, there's lots of little tiny holes. The problem with it is they get clogged right up with little stones. You can't get them out of there. You can probably see them in there now. Like I said, this was the first sluice I ever built and first sluice I ever ran, actually. Well, let's get her all put together. There's still enough bigger holes in there to allow enough material through, and we'll just start shoveling onto that baby. I'm going to set up right here, right in here someplace, get enough water flow. Where it is, you know, that's an inside corner up there, but you know, any bigger pieces are going to stay on the bottom because that's bedrock, and hopefully make their way down through. Even though a lot of water drops off to that side, it just opens right up. So hopefully some of those heavies are dropping down there, and we can get enough pitch and flow right here. Let's get it set up and start digging, right? Okay, we got her running. I've put, I don't know, 10 or 12 shovels on there. It's not working too bad. Those dredging riffles, of course, they're really big for sluicing or high banking. Anything other than dredging, they're really big, but they're not doing too bad cleaning out. They're not cleaning out perfectly, but it's okay. It's been a long time since I ran this thing, so what I'm remembering and finding out is I shovel onto there, then the bigger rocks I can just push off with the shovel, then the rest just works its way off. It's not too bad. I actually pat myself on the back for building this, you know, and having it working that good when I was first just getting started into this stuff. Working pretty good. Let me try to get a shovel on there for you, and we'll watch it together. Gotta do this one-handed. I think I left my tripod up at the lean-to, so it's probably not there anymore. Bear with me, I'm trying to do this one-handed. You just put a shovel on there. The bigger ones you kind of flick off like such, and then the rest will just flow right off there. It does tend to stick right there where that V meets, Can you see that V? Material holds up there just a little bit. Give it a little push and it works its way right off. As we can see though, those riffles do fill up all the way down to the bottom, but there is room from the top of the riffle down to the bottom. See some steel exposed there, so they're not getting completely full, which is good. Like I said, they're not cleaning out exactly perfect, but that's okay. Most of the gold we find is going to be stuck up underneath here anyway. But it's not working too bad. We're just going to keep on digging. It's a lot of fun, kind of getting back to the roots of it all. A lot of fun. All right, we'll keep digging on this beautiful day. Okay, we got a pretty good hole going there. I don't know how many shovels. I really haven't been counting. Yeah, we're not really that deep, I guess. Feels a lot deeper, but we're starting to open the hole up a little bit that way. I'm just going to take a little break, let this thing wash out a little bit, just so we can see what's going on behind those riffles. Catching material in there. I think I see a little bit of black in there. But we're not really down into anything that's gonna pay, I don't think. Just a little bit of mucky stuff, but most of it's just gravels with nothing mixed in it. That's okay, we're just out here having fun. Give her a little while, clean out a little bit, and we'll keep digging. I just want to see how it's gonna clean out on its own, see if it's locking up there too much or whatnot, you know. All right. Decided to just walk upstream a little bit and see all the exposed bedrock in here. Pretty nice. Not really any cracks. And we're set up right, I don't know, right, I can't see the screen, about halfway down through that island right there. So anyway, we just came up here and I'm looking at this edge on the back side of that bedrock right there. See it right in there? Then up there, there's a crack. We got some heavies dropping out in here. I see a hunk of iron already. An old pin. How deep is this crack? That will determine whether there's anything in here. No, it's not very deep. Won't be anything in there. Never is any cracks up in here. Like I said earlier, I don't find very much gold in this creek at all. It's pretty bedrock in there, the blues and greens and the blacks and browns all mixed together. Very nice colors. See that over there? Almost wants to be a crack down in there, but it can't quite do it. Oh, there's a little baby trout right there. Did you see him? Hopefully it's a brook trout. He wasn't in here the other day. Let's just take a little walk up through here. Something pink down in there. This is a nice inside bend too, but I've never got any gold off this. But we could come up here and set that sluice up and dig on here sometime. Maybe we'll do that later today, maybe not. Alright, let's go back down and look at those ripples in that sluice, see how good they cleaned out. That'll help us figure out if it's running properly or not. We know it's not running perfect, but let's see how good it is running. See if those ripples are locked up or if they're working correctly. Okay, this trout that I just saw is definitely a brook trout, which is good. Those are actually the native species of the area. The brown trout that are introduced are actually invasive. They eat these little brook trout. It's right under this rock. Let's see if we can just get him to come out of there. Maybe have just a little look at him. There he is. Did you see him? Probably a 4-incher. Just saw another little one. That's good. Sorry about the shadow, but they don't look like they're working too bad. Holding on to a couple little bigger stones there, but there's still plenty of seats on the bus. I think we're doing just fine for the circumstances. Using a dredge box sluice, and I think it's working okay. All right, we'll keep digging. Keep on digging. Okay, we went and had a little bit of lunch. Let this baby run for a while. Actually, I gave this thing a name a while ago, Frankenstein. Just because it's all homemade and built out of pieces and parts and brought it to life. All right. You see they're cleaning out pretty good. It's about, that's what you would expect behind dredge riffles. Looking about like that. I do see some material up underneath the slick classifying plate. But I decided let's just throw a whole bunch more shovels on there. I'll get so I can stand right down the hole and start shoveling. And of course, when we come back to do this again, this hole will probably be mostly filled up with fines. But anyway, let's get down in there and just keep on digging. All right, having fun. Okay, I threw a bunch of shovels on there. Figure we'll let it clean out a little bit, because you know it's one shovel after the other. Can it handle it? I'm sure it can, but we're gonna take a little break anyway, so there's our excuse. Gotta let the sluice clean out. Okay, she's cleaned out a little bit. Back to work. Oh yeah, one thing you want to make sure of, you know, you gotta get the proper water coming into the front of your box. In a setup like this where you just shovel on, you don't classify, you want to make sure that your tail race here is clean of rocks and stuff before you even start shoveling on. Get all those bigger rocks out of there, give it a good run so that you don't have to come out here and clean it up as often. Make sure that that material can flow right up out of there. And that's just one of the disadvantages to using a box like this. You do have to clean out in the back end of it quite often, because you're sending 90% of the material right down the sluice. Arr, I've got a hole in me boot. Arr! All right, as you can see, the shadow is upon us. Got a pretty good hole there though. You can see it right there. Top of it's about right here. Good size hole. We're right down on the, I don't think it's the bedrock, although the bedrock's in here somewhere. I think we're just down in the sticky above the bedrock, but we've shoveled enough today. Let's just let this baby run for a little while, clean out on its own. And see if we got any gold. I don't expect to, but maybe a little piece or two. We'll see. Okay, I think that's long enough. Let's get this baby ripped out of here and see if we got any gold. Well, that top mat, I mean, it was used so much back in the day that there isn't much depth to the ripple anymore, and it didn't really hold much material at all. There's barely anything that I can see. I mean, I know there's going to be some on there that we can't really see, but I could go with something more aggressive in the top for sure. Absolutely, I could use something more aggressive. Okay, minus these rocks. All the rocks were actually, they were on the side of the classifier screen. They were stuck in there, so when I pulled it up, they fell down. But you can see the sands in here. There's more than what it looked like on there when we looked. But anyway, let me pull this back, see if we got any gold. Okay, we got a couple little pieces of gold in there. I brought it over in the sun, so maybe we can see it together. There's let me zoom in. Try to keep my shadow out of the way. There's one right there. You gonna see that? I don't think you're gonna see him. see that one right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 little specks, 7, maybe 8. Tiny, tiny little things. You probably can't see them. Okay, let's clean out the carpet. Okay, there's everything from the sluice, the stuff from the top mat I left right in there even with the gold. But there's a considerable amount of concentrates in there. And that's why a lot of people went to the different style mats today, just so they could reduce their concentrates. But hey, it gives you something to do, right? We're gonna pan that out instead of just trying to run through it. We're gonna pan most of it out and just save the heavies out of it. And then we'll have a look. Alright, I got that all panned back and pulled back. We had 4 or 5 more pieces down that lower mat, so we caught most of it, but it's really tiny stuff. I'm not sure if you can see that stuff in there. Just teeny tiny little specks here and there. Can't even really call them flakes. To get a pretty little garnet though right there. Pretty little garnet. Some iron. That was fun anyway. We got a little bit of gold. Hey, it's always fun getting gold, right? And we got to use our old faithful sluice again. Man, I use that thing. I used to tear that thing into 2 pieces and put it on my pack frame and walk all over the hills with that thing. And it's kind of heavy, and the flare on it's really wide. Always fighting through the brush and stuff. But I tell you what, I had great times back then, just like I do now. A lot of fun being out here, isn't it? I'm glad you guys came along and kept me company. Lots of fun. Well, it's a few days later, back out here on the creek, and we moved up to the top end of the bedrock here. Got the sluice set up again. It's not quite running quite right yet. Trying to get more water coming into it. Get that stuff to flow a little better. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, but that's okay. We'll help it along as we go. Alright, let's just shovel some dirt. I'm going to take around the inside bend right here. It feels pretty, a lot of silt in there, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, and down underneath the punch plate there, whatever you want to call it, I did put a more aggressive mat in there. It's not held in other than by pressure. It might load up too much, which it almost looks like it is now, but we'll see how it goes. We'll run for a while and then maybe pull it out and see what it's doing in there. Okay, let's have a look at the material we're getting out of this hole. Like I said, it's just really silty, full of silt. But it's a good mixture of different sized stones, and we like that typically. So, and we got the sluice over here running pretty good. Let's watch it together one time. Those larger rocks rolling right off there, slowly feeding. See that? Pretty good. Okay, let's get caught up here a little bit. What I've been doing is I worked down this hole. I just recently pushed some more material in, but I got down to the bottom there. And then it feels like the bedrock kind of steps up. You can see all this stuff right up here on the edge. It's all clay. All clay. See it? I mean, it's stuck right to the rocks pretty good. It's really hard digging up on there though. I'm not sure if that's solid bedrock or if it's pieces that are, you know, formed right together in the clay. I think that's what it is. I think they're jammed right up. But we're going to dig into that a little bit. And then I came back here a little ways. I'm down on the bedrock. I cleaned this out to drop the level of the water in the hole, which it did. But I just cleaned the bedrock right up through. I'm starting to work into the bank here right on the bedrock. Once you get up to about right here, the material starts changing. So everything down here was deposited after the river's flood, you know, finally started receding, and then this material is deposited in here. And the stuff in there on the bottom might be adding up over time, so we might be in luck with the gold. We'll see. But I've just been ripping material on there. We're going to give it a little while and just let everything clean out and sit where it wants to, and just give it a minute. Beautiful day though. Beautiful day. Okay, I think we dug long enough for this run. Might be the last run of the day. Let's let that baby clean out on its own for a little bit. See, I work down into there now, the bedrock. Not sure if you can see the gray right there, you see it? Hey, here's the edge of it. I've already worked all this up. This is just loose stuff that's floating around in there. But yeah, right on that edge, it's right full of big rocks. Right packed full of clay too. If there's any gold in this cleanup, sometime we'll come back up and work into that some more and just keep on doing what we're doing. Lots of fun, I tell you. And this box makes it fast. I mean, fast. Shovel right on, shovel right on. Okay, give this baby a couple minutes and then we'll do a cleanup. Okay, we got the excuse me, got the top mat all cleaned up. Let me zoom in here. We only got 2 little flakes, one right there and one right there. Not even flakes, they're just little dots. I did wash a lot of the stuff, the light stuff out. Alright, 2 little tiny dots. Okay, let's clean up the bottom, see what we got. Alright folks, I cleaned up the bottom too. There wasn't any gold in there. We had those 2 little specks from the top. I just threw all the cons right back in the creek. Gave them back to the gold gods. That's okay. Maybe that'll help us acquire more gold later on someplace else. Like I said before, this creek doesn't have much gold, but it's fun getting out sluicing anyway. Sluicing or panning or anything, just getting out. Right? It's a lot of fun. So I'm glad you stopped in and stuck around. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more gold than what we did, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for being here, keeping me company. Not sure what we'll do next time. Actually, I believe I got a little metal detecting videos I can put up after this one. Beautiful little spot though, huh? Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Remember to keep on having fun, folks. Keep on having fun.